since I said goodbye to you. Every tear that falls reminds me of the love we used to share. Every tear that falls reminds me that you're no longer there. Every tear falls like rain against the walls. Every tear falls down these empty halls. Each one carries a memory, each one carries a part of me that used to love you, used to care. Every tear falls everywhere. I try to hold them back sometimes. I try to be so strong, but tears have minds of their own. They know when something's wrong. They fall when I hear our song. They fall when I'm alone. They fall when I pass places that we used to call our own. Every tear falls like rain against the walls. Every tear falls down these empty halls. Each one carries a memory, each one carries a part of me that used to love you, used to care. Every tear falls everywhere, but tears are just the heart's way of washing pain away. And one day the tears will stop and I'll be okay. Every tear falls, but not forever. I'm learning how to pull together. Every tear falls, but soon they'll cease and I'll find peace. Every tear falls, thank you for the release, thank you for the peace. Every tear falls, but now they're done, I finally won. No more tears, only peace. I sit here in the half-lit room with just one lamp aglow. The shadows dance upon the walls like memories, you know. The other half is dark and cold, just like my heart tonight. Half-lit room, half-lit life since you said goodbye. Half-lit room, living in the gloom. Half-lit room, waiting for the boom of lightning, thunder, something bright. just a half-lit room covered in the dust. Half-lit room, half-lit room, living in the gloom. Half-lit room, half-lit room, waiting for the boom of lightning, thunder, something bright to fill me up with light. Half-lit room, the only place I can resume. One day I'll flip the switch. One day I'll flood with light. One day I'll banish every shadow, make the darkness bright. Half-lit room, I'm letting you go. I'm learning all I need to know about shadows and light, and letting be about becoming the best version of me. Half-lit room, thank you for the shade. Thank you for the memories made. Now I'm ready for the full light. I'm ready to be bright. Lights on piano. For me. You cried wolves so many times, I stopped believing in your tears. Every drama, every crisis, every single one of your fears. You call me up at 3 a.m. saying you couldn't live without me. I come running, I come saving, I'd be everything you need. But you were crying wolf, crying wolf, making up the pain, making up like a weight upon my chest. I should have known, I should have felt that this time you were truly stressed. But crying wolf is consequence, and now we both must pay. You lost your chance to rescue, I lost mine to crying wolf, a lesson learned too late. Crying wolf, the cruelest twist of fate. Too late, too late, too late. Before you go, before you leave, before you walk out that door, give me one last kiss to hold, one last kiss and nothing more. I know you have to go away, I know it's for the best, but give me something to remember, something to put to rest. One last kiss, one last kiss, something I will always miss. One last kiss, one last kiss, sealed with all the bliss of all the love we used to share, of all the times you used to care. One last kiss, one last kiss, the final moment of our bliss. I wanna memorize your lips, I wanna feel your touch, I wanna hold this moment close. I want it all so much, because once you walk out that door, I'll never see you again. And this one last kiss will have to be you, my lover and my friend. One last kiss, one last kiss, something I will always miss. One last kiss, one last kiss, sealed with all the bliss of all the love we used to share, all the times you used to care. One last kiss, one last kiss, the final moment of our bliss. You kissed me softly, sweet and slow. You held me close and tight, and then you turned and walked away into the fading light. One last kiss, I'll hold it dear. One last kiss through every tear. One last kiss, I'll keep it safe. One last kiss, my heart's safe. One last kiss, thank you for the gift. One last kiss for the lift. Now I'm ready to let you go. One last kiss, I'll always know. kiss your forehead in the morning light, before the world could wake and steal the moment. You flinched and pulled the covers high, said my lips were cold, said don't you know it. I didn't think much of it then, just a morning moment, just a thing. But looking back I should have seen the cold was spreading, taking wing. You were cold to the touch long before you left, cold to the touch, stealing all the breath from a love that tried so hard to burn. You were cold, touch at every turn. I should have felt it in your skin, the way the warmth was wearing thin. Cold to the touch, cold to the touch. I should have known I loved too much. I'd wrap my arms around you at night, seeking shelter in your embrace. But you'd feel stiff, feel far away, as if I was in the wrong place. Your hands in mine felt like December, your lips on mine felt like goodbye. I kissed you deeper, held you longer, trying to warm you, trying to make you try. You were cold to the touch long before you left, cold to the touch, stealing all the breath from a love that tried so hard to burn. You were cold to touch at every turn. I should have felt it in your skin, the way the warmth was wearing thin. Cold to the touch, cold to the touch. I should have known I loved too much. They say that dying feel no pain. They say that leaving feel no cold, but I'm the one still shivering. I'm the one who's grown. Now you're gone and I'm still cold, from a love that left me in the snow. Cold to the touch, that's what you were. Cold to the touch, that's what I prefer to remember, so I don't forget that some loves leave you frozen, yeah. Planted seeds in fertile ground, watch the tiny sprouts break ground, watered them with hope and tears, tended them for months and years. You told me fruit would come in time, that love would make the harvest mine. But when the branches finally grew, the fruit was bitter, nothing new. Taste the fruit of bitterness on my tongue, the sourness of a love that promised sweet, but left me with defeat. Fruit of bitterness, fruit of bitterness. Every bite is your address, every seed a memory of what you did to me. Ooh. I taste the fruit of bitterness. On my tongue the sourness of a love that promised sweet, but left me with defeat. Fruit of bitterness, fruit of bitterness. Every bite is your address, every seed a memory of what you did to me. But bitter fruit can still be used, can still be something I refuse. It can be cooked down into jam, it can teach you who I am. It can remind me not to settle for fruit that's bitter as a nettle. The fruit of bitterness I'll keep, but not to sow, not to reap. I use it as a reminder, true, of what I'll never settle for with you. Fruit of bitterness, you taught me well to recognize the lies you tell. And next time when I plant a tree, I'll make sure the fruit is sweet for me. It didn't happen like they write in books. No big explosion, no dramatic looks. It was quieter than a held back sigh, just a flicker fading from your eyes. I watched it dim for weeks before you left. Held my breath and hope till my heart bereft. But you can't relight a fire that doesn't wanna burn. And I had so much left for you to learn. The flame went out, not with a bang, just a whisper of doubt. Not with a fight, just your shadow walking out. The flame went out, and I'm still standing here holding the match, wondering where we went wrong. The flame went out. I remember when your eyes could light the dark, when just one look from you could leave its mark. Now I search your face for something I once knew, but the pilot light went out, the warmth withdrew. I blew on embers till my lungs gave out. Tried to remember what love was about, but you can't force a fire that doesn't wanna glow. And I'm the only one who didn't know. The flame went out, not with a bang, just a whisper of doubt. Not with a fight, just your shadow walking out. The flame went out, and I'm still standing here holding the match, wondering where we went wrong. The flame went out. Maybe that's the cruelest way to go. silent snow. You freeze before you feel the cold set in, and by the time you know, you can't begin again. The flame went out. I'm learning how to live without the shout of a love that burned so bright I couldn't doubt. The flame went out, and I'm still standing here, learning to let go, trying to find my own spark now. Since the flame went out, the flame went out. Just a whisper, and the flame went out. You pulled my heartstrings like a harp. You played me like a song. You knew just which notes to hit. You knew right from wrong. But then you stopped the music. You let the silence fall. You left me with an instrument that didn't play at all. Heartstrings, heartstrings, tangled up in things. Heartstrings, heartstrings, the song your absence brings, that pull so tight they're gonna break from all the loving I still ate. Heartstrings, heartstrings, the music that our love makes. I try to play another tune, I try to strum a chord. You play me like a chess piece, move me all around. You never let my heart find peace. You just pushed me down. I was your pawn, you were the queen in this game that was so mean. You sacrificed me for the win. Let the hurt begin. It was a heartless game, playing with what was your aim. You never cared about the cost, about the love that you just lost. Heartless game, heartless game. I was the one to blame for staying in it way too long, for singing your sad song. You moved in silence, made your plans with your heart in your hands, but your hands were cold as ice. Your love was not so nice. You checkmated me in the end, left me with no king to defend, just a board of empty squares and all my silent prayers. It was a heartless game, playing with love was your aim. You never cared about the cost, about the love that you just lost. Heartless game, heartless game. I was the one to blame for staying in it way too long, for singing your sad song. But games are meant for playing fair with people who actually care. You didn't care at all. You just watched me fall. Now I'm taking my pieces back, getting my life on track. No more heartless game. I'm not playing, I'm not the same. I'm walking off the board for good. I'm done with being misunderstood. Heartless game, you threw at me. I'm finally breaking free. To find a love that's played with heart, where both of us can play our part, play our part. Heartless game, checkmate, checkmate. I planted grief in my backyard where the flowers used to be. I thought if I could work the hard soil, it would set me free. But grief grows different than the rest. It puts my heart to the test. It grows in shadows, grows in weeds. It grows from all my broken seeds. Welcome to Grief's Garden, Grief's Garden, where the sun is always hiding, where the flowers are all black, where there is no turning back. Grief's Garden, Grief's Garden, every step is getting harder. Every bloom is a memory of what you meant to me. this garden of memory. The roses have all turned to thorns since the day that you were born into my life and out again. This is where my grief has been. To grow something rare, and grief's garden can be transformed from something sad to something warm. If I plant new seeds among the old, a different story can unfold. So grief's garden, I'm reclaiming. I'm no longer just complaining. I'm planting flowers of a different kind to help me heal my mind. Grief's garden, you'll always be a part of my history, but you won't be the only plight where my heart has gone. Where my heart has gone. Grief's garden, I'm planting hope. I'm planting hope. You taught me how to cook with mushrooms and gnocchi, shiitake, crimini too. We'd stand together in the kitchen making meal for me and you. And gnocchi is the thinnest one, delicate and long. It represents what we became before everything went wrong. And a gnocchi of empty, a gnocchi of empty, growing in the dark. A gnocchi of empty, a gnocchi of empty, a gnocchi of empty, missing its spark. You were thin and delicate, just like the love we couldn't say. A gnocchi of empty, a gnocchi of empty, the mushroom of our fate. I tried to make the soup last night, the one you used to make, but without you there beside me, the flavor was fake. The gnocchi floated in the bowl like tiny strands of hope, but when I tasted it, I knew I couldn't cope. A gnocchi of empty, a gnocchi of empty, growing in the dark. A gnocchi of empty, a gnocchi of empty, a gnocchi of empty, missing its spark. You were thin and delicate, just like the love we couldn't say. A gnocchi of empty, season right. I'm learning that a meal alone can still be a delight. And I'll give empty, I'm letting you go. I'm learning all I need to know about cooking and eating and being alone, about making a house a home on my own for myself. I'm putting my heart on the shelf, and no key of empty. Goodbye to you. I've got a brand new stew. No recipe, no me. Our love was never sunshine bright, and never danced in golden light. It was always overcast and gray from the very first day. We met in November under clouds, and love grew in the crowds of rain and fog and misty air. A love that was always there. It was a gray sky love sent from somewhere up above. You never needed sun to shine, because your heart was always mine. Gray sky love, the kind that fits like a glove, comfortable in any weather, always keeping us together. We walked in rain without umbrellas, kissed in storms, those were our cellars of wine and warmth and cozy nights. In the absence of the lights, other couples needed sun to validate that they were one. But we were fine in fog and mist, content to simply exist. There was a gray sky love sent from somewhere up above. You never needed sun to shine, because your heart was always mine. Gray sky love, the kind that fits like a glove, comfortable in any weather, always keeping us together. But even gray skies have to end, even clouds have to descend into something new and strange, into a different kind of range. And our gray sky love just couldn't last. It became part of the past. Now it's a gray sky memory of a love that used to be. I miss the comfort of the clouds, the way we stood above the crowds. Gray sky love, I'll hold you dear, even though you're not here. You taught me that love can grow, even when the sun doesn't show. Even when the sun doesn't took half my heart with you when you walked away. Left me with the other half that slowly dies each day. It beats but not the same. It pumps but not with force. Half a heart can't love the same. Half a heart's off course. Half a heart beating in the dark. Half a heart missing its spark. You took the best part, took the light, left me with the endless night. Half a heart, the cruelest work of art. Try to fill the missing part with friends, we work with fun, but half a heart can't feel the same. Half a heart's undone. It beats for you still, even though you're not here to hear. It beats for what we used to be. It beats for yesteryear. Half a heart beating in the dark. Half a heart missing its spark. You took the best part, took the light, left me with the endless night. Half a heart, the cruelest work of art. But hearts can regenerate, they can grow back anew. And I'm learning that my half can become a whole, it's true. Half a heart, you're growing strong. Half a heart, you'll soon belong to me alone in my own chest. Half a heart, you'll pass the test. Half a heart, thank you for the beat. Thank you for the heart's feet. Now I'm ready to be whole. I'm ready to take control. Hold me. Hold her. I caught myself on a piece of you, a photograph with a jagged edge. The blur welled up, so red, so true, like the love we had, like the vow we pledged. I watched it drip onto the floor, crimson drops by the kitchen door. And I thought about how love can bleed, how it takes so much more than we need. Crimson tears falling down throughout the years. Every drop a shade of red, every word we left unsaid. Crimson tears staining all, watching my whole heart fall. Crimson tears, wishing you were here. the crimson in my heart. You saw the love that bled with fear. Crimson tears falling down throughout the years. Every drop a shade of red, every word we left unsaid. Crimson tears staining all, watching my whole heart fall. Crimson tears, wishing you were. They say red is for passion, red is for love so strong, but my red is for bleeding, for everything that went wrong. So I wear my crimson tears through all the coming years, a badge of honor, a sign of pain, of a love that felt like rain. Crimson tears, I'm letting go of all my fears. Crimson tears, learning to heal through the years. Crimson fading, healing. You're everywhere and nowhere, all at the same time. A presence in the emptiness, a whisper in the rhyme. I feel you in the morning when I reach across the bed. I see you in the evening, in the shadows that are spread. Ghost of you, haunting everything I do. Ghost of you, making life feel untrue. You're not here, but you won't leave. My heart, you still deceive. Ghost of you, the hardest thing to lose. I talk to you sometimes at night. I tell you about my day. I know you can't hear me, but it helps in some small way to feel like you're still with me, to feel like you still care, to feel like you're not really gone, to feel like you're still there. Ghost of you, haunting everything I do. Ghost of you, making life feel untrue. You're not here, but you won't leave. My heart, you still deceive. Ghost of you, the hardest thing to lose. One day you'll fade completely. One day you'll set me free. about spirits and love and letting be, about becoming the best version of me. Ooh, ghost of you. Thank you for the haunting, thank you for the taunting. Now I'm ready to be alone in a body, not a bone, of you, of us, of what has been. Ghost of you, I'm whole again. Complete me. Our love was like a favorite sweater, worn too many times. The threads began to loosen, the edges lost their lines. We pulled and tugged at every seam, trying to make it last. But some things are meant to fade, some things become the past. Fading, 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 fading. All the love we've been parading. Fading, 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 fading into the ground we've been laying. The threads are loose, the colors pale. The story of our love's travail. Fading, 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 fading. The end of our crusading. I tried to sew the holes up, I tried to patch the tears, but every stitch just made more holes and multiplied my fears. The fabric's thin, the warmth is gone, I can't keep out the cold. Our love is fading, fading now, a story that's been told. Fading, 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 fading. All the love we've been parading. Fading, 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 fading into the ground we've been laying. The threads are loose, the colors pale. The story of our love's travail. Fading, 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 fading. I'm putting away the needle and thread, I'm letting it all go. I'm buying myself something new, something that will grow. Fading, fading, I'm letting you go, I'm learning all I need to know about fabric and love and letting be, about becoming the best version of me. Fading, fading, thank you for the wet, thank you for the tears. Now I'm ready for something brand new, I'm ready to follow through. New thread, new love, new me. You kept my heart inside a cage. You wouldn't let it fly. You said it was to keep it safe, but that was just a lie. You wanted to control it. You wanted it to stay. You wanted it to only be for you in your own way. Heart in a cage, heart in a cage, beating with frustration and rage. Heart in a cage, heart in a cage, locked in a gilded page. You held the key, you held the lock, you held my heart around the clock. Heart in a cage, heart in a cage, the cruelest kind of ways. I rattled at the bar sometimes. I try to break on through, but every time I get close, I'd end up back with you. Because your sweet talk, you promised that soon you would set me free, but soon never came, and I remained in your captivity. Heart in a cage, heart in a cage, beating with frustration and rage. Heart in a cage, heart in a cage, locked in a gilded page. You held the key, you held the lock, you held my heart around the clock. Heart in a cage, heart in a cage, the cruelest kind of wage. I finally found the key myself. I finally broke the lock. I finally set my heart free from your control and stock. Heart in a cage, I'm letting you fly. Heart in a cage, I'm saying goodbye. Heart in a cage, you're free at last, released from the past. Heart in a cage, thank you for the fight. Thank you for teaching me about life. Now I'm ready to soar and sing. Heart in a cage, I've got my own wings, flying free, flying free me. I finally packed your things today, put 'em in a box to give away. Your toothbrush and your favorite shirt, the pillow that still held your dirt. I held your sweater to my face, tried to find your lingering trace, but even that has disappeared, like everything I loved and feared. You're gone forever, gone forever, and I'm finally getting clever enough to know you're not coming back, enough to get my life on track. Gone forever, no longer cold. has finally settled in my soul, and I'm learning to be whole. And I'm learning to be whole. I changed the locks on Friday last. I've living in the past. Your key is sitting in the drawer. I don't need it in there. Decorated the living room. Took down your pictures and did the gloom. Put up some art that I picked out. Things I chose without a doubt. You're gone forever, and I'm finally getting clever enough to know you're not coming back. Enough to get my life on track. Forever, gone forever. The longest, coldest kind of weather has finally settled in my soul, and I'm learning to be whole. I'm learning to be whole. Forever is a funny word, the most absurd I've ever heard. It means a time that never ends, a message that the heart still sends. But now I'm learning that forever can also mean that we're not together. And you're gone forever, I'm finally facing the endeavor of building something on my own, of making my house a home. Gone forever, but I'm still here. I'm drying every single tear and learning that forever means free from in between. Gone forever, I'm still here. Your bouquet you gave me 2 weeks ago is sitting in the vase. Petals brown and crumpled now. No beauty, no grace. I should throw them out, I know. I should let the memories go. But every time I reach to take them, something in me makes me shake them. Dead flowers in a crystal vase. Dead love written on your face. Dead petals falling one by one. Dead romance, what have we done? Dead flowers, marking all the passing hours since you went away. Dead flowers, withering more every day. The roses were so red that day when you walked through the door. Now they're brown and crisp and dry, like tears upon the floor. I pressed one between the pages of the book you used to read, hoping to preserve the beauty, hoping to preserve the need. Dead flowers in a crystal vase. Dead love written on your face. Dead petals falling one by one. page with all my tears and all my rage. The ink runs down and smears the word like a wounded bird. I try to write a letter to you, to tell you what I'm going through, but every word just turns to tears after all these years. Ink and tears mixing together after all these years, writing stories of our love sent from above. Ink and tears falling on the page. My fears, every letter, every line telling me you're not mine. I fill my journals front to back with everything I lack, with every memory of you, with everything I knew. The pages curl up from the weight of all the tears I wept. They're like a map of my despair, of love that wasn't fair. Ink and tears mixing together after all these years, writing stories of our love sent from above. Ink and tears falling on the page. My fears, every letter, every line telling me you're not mine. But one day I'll write with just ink, without the tears I